This is a screencast on tissues. By the end of the screencast, you should know the functions and characteristics of tissues and be able to recognize them by viewing them through images on the board or through under the microscope. 4 types of tissues, as you remember, are epithelium, connective, muscle, and nervous. And tissues work together to produce organs, and remember that different types of cells working together produce the tissue. Starting with epithelial, this is the type of tissue you find covering the surfaces of our organs and surfaces of our body. It functions in order to protect, secrete, and absorb. The images here are different types of epithelial tissue, which is named according to their shape and structure. If there is one layer, it is called simple. If there are more than one layer, it is called stratified. You also have cube shape called cuboidal, and you have columnar shape called columnar, and scale shape called squamous. So in this image here, each one of these cells, and then there's the nucleus, each one of these scales are tightly packed and scale-like. So this is squamous, and it is one layer. We're viewing it from the top, so this would be simple squamous. And then in this slide here, you have this free surface. You have more free surface here, and you have these cube-shaped cells, and there are one layer of these. Remember, epithelial is always attached to a basement membrane, and so this one would be simple cuboidal. And then on this bottom picture, you're going to have many layers of the squamous. So this is stratified squamous. Stratified. And then on the right bottom here, we have columned shaped cells. So it's called columnar, and again, there's the nucleus. Here is the basement membrane holding all of these cells together. It's one layer, so it would be simple columnar. And connective tissue is found more abundantly than any other tissue in your body. It is for connecting and supporting, also for transporting substances. And here you see examples of connective tissue. In this slide, you see compact bone, which is a connective tissue, and you see the Haversian canal in the center. Remember, the Haversian canal is where the blood vessels and nerves travel. On the bottom left, you see these empty cells of connective tissue, and this is called adipose tissue. These are the adipocytes, the fat cells. And then in the center, you have a type of connective tissue common in the spleen, made up of these reticular fibers, which are a network of support, and this is called reticular connective tissue. And then on the right upper corner, you have a lot of space, a lot of extracellular matrix here. And we talked about extracellular matrix being composed of liquids and proteins and sugars. And this is loose connective tissue. Also, this dark pink stained strand here is the collagen fibers. And then we also have the reticular and the elastin fibers running through this. And then these dark stained cells here, the fibroblasts, that will create those protein fibers that are found in connective tissue. And then down on the bottom you have blood. These little pink cells are the red blood cells. And then the bigger cells that have the purple stained nuclei are the white blood cells, also called leukocytes. Red blood cells called erythrocytes. So moving on to the next tissue type that you should know is muscle. And muscle is composed of 3 types. You have 2 types of muscle tissue that are striated, and the striations are these lines that you see. This one being skeletal muscle, this one being cardiac muscle. You'll notice with cardiac muscle, these green pointers are showing you thicker lines of striations called intercalated discs. And then at the top here, there is no striations, big nuclei. This is smooth muscle. Smooth muscle is found in organs. Striated is on the skeletal, and then the cardiac muscle is found in the heart. And then moving on to the last type of tissue is nervous. And in nervous tissue, the only thing you have to be able to recognize under the microscope is the neuron. And you can see the neuron in this image here with the dendrites, the soma or the cell body, and there's the nucleus, and the axon. and the information is transmitted in that direction. We also talked about these other little helper cells called glial cells to help repair the neuron. And nervous tissue has the ability for excitability and transmitting messages. And you can pause the video and look at these different types of tissue examples here and see if you can match them with what type of tissue they are.